Treating fall injuries is very costly, and since the U.S. population is aging, both the number of falls and the cost to treat fall injuries are likely to rise. Audiologist Dr. Jodi Conter from Gardner Audiology joins me with how they can help people who are at risk for falling. First off, doctor, welcome back.
Thank you.
How
it's nice
are you?
To be here.
Well, we always appreciate when you are here. But as I'm reading this, we're talking about falls, and you're an audiologist. Explain this correlation.
Well, the organ of hearing and the organ of balance are intertwined from the first pregnancy, the first trimester of pregnancy on. They are housed in the same area of the skull. The same fluid surrounds both of them, so sometimes what affects one affects the other.
And if someone is starting to lose their balance and maybe don't realize that they're having a hearing issue, is that possible? Or do you possibly notice the hearing issue first, or just different
It can go either way, and they're not always connected, but they can be. You know, as we age, our senses change, our vision is reduced, our balance can become poorer, and all of it is interconnected in our spatial awareness. You know, as we lose our hearing, our spatial awareness changes as well. And all of these things can put us at a higher risk of falls.
And you know, we touched on cost at the very beginning of this. Cost is definitely something that people always keep in the back of their minds. How can you reduce the cost if you were to sustain an injury from a fall? How can you kind of keep that minimal?
Well, we want to try to not have the injury.
Yeah.
We want to, if you start to have balance issues, find out the cause of the balance issues, see an audiologist, your medical physician, to determine the cause of the balance problems and hopefully stave off falls. We don't want to have to deal with the cost after the fall. We want to make our systems work more efficiently and better so that we don't fall.
What about tests? If a lot of people are hesitant to go in and see you and, oh, I don't want to go through a string of, tests, how can you make it easier on the patients? What can they expect?
Absolutely. Well, since it is all interconnected, we have to look at a number of different things. We need to get a good case history, find out what medications they're on. A lot of times medications can cause the balance problems. Then we want to do a complete hearing evaluation. And then there's another test called videonystagmography, just remember VNG. And that's when we're actually looking to see whether perhaps the cause of the dizziness is coming from the inner ear.
So you're able to tell that?
Yes.
Through tests. Are they invasive tests, or is it something that
They're not, but we are going to try to make you dizzy.
Oh my.
We do want to try to find out where it's coming from.
Right.
So we're going to stimulate some of the areas that could be causing the dizziness. So.
I was going to say, Busch Gardens was in here earlier. Are you going to make people ride roller coasters?
No.
No. Well, I'm sitting here looking at my notes because it's interesting. Over 800,000 patients here are hospitalized because of these falls. And you were talking about the injuries that you can sustain. You think these numbers could decrease if people would get their hearing checked?
Well, I think it's a start. Because if we find that there are hearing deficits, it can affect our spatial awareness and knowing what's going on around us. And if we do not have that full awareness, then it can absolutely throw us off balance. Plus, if there's a virus or something that's attacking the organ of hearing, it can often attack the organ of balance as well. So we're going to look for any correlation between the two. It's a start. We're going to start with that test. We may go on into the balance testing. Before we can determine treatment options, we have to find out if we can figure out where it's coming from.
So it sounds like, doctor, this is one of those tests that you should just go, or at least appointments that you should make as you're aging, just to kind of be preventative, even if you don't think there's any red flags.
Absolutely. Everyone should have a baseline done.
Good stuff. I'm glad you really came in. I always appreciate the information. And if you want more information from the many Gardner Audiology locations, we'll give them a call or visit their website. All of the information is right there on your screen.